Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I actually wanted to go over the strange ways, the very weird ways that avoidance might show you their love or they reveal their true feelings. And why this is important is because it's not specifically saying, I love you. Now, avoidants do say, I love you. Like you guys have, your partner has said, I love you to you. I've had calls with you guys. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But very often, I love you is not common, non existent, or like scarce. But these things are pretty common. And it's very interesting. Not trying to call you guys out, but kind of calling you guys out. Some of you guys know this, but you deny it. And so I'm making this video so that it helps you to not be so much in denial. Because I've had calls with you guys where I'm like, that's not a friendship, right? And you're like, yeah, I know it's not a friendship, but I'm kind of afraid to say that. Right there's the fear. Don't be afraid. Trust yourself. You need confidence in yourself in order to continue with this relationship. Because if you're unconfident in yourself, you're just living among their triggers. Now you're allowing those maladaptive strategies to run the relationship. That's not healthy. And so that's why we're making this video, okay? And the first one is teaching and guiding. Many avoidants, particularly male avoidants, do this, but females do it as well. It's a little more common with male avoidants. Teaching and guiding. They may express love by sharing wisdom, offering guidance, helping someone grow. It's often used through example more than words, but it usually is both. So they might say, here's how you do this. I want to show you. And they might physically show you how to do it. It can be anything. They might even say, I want you to learn so that you know how to do this in the future. And it might sound like in a pressuring type of sense, but it's not like that. This is just how they make sure that you're safe. Maybe it's something you made a mistake about your car and it could have been a safety issue. They might say it in a way, I want you to know how to do this so that you don't run into this issue. They might even sound angry, but the reality is they're just worried and they're teaching and guiding you. And a lot of avoidants just love to teach and guide because they care about you. Okay. Um, and sometimes these things happen because a lot of times they teaching and guiding is how their parents showed love. And so often that's how they learn to convey love. Okay. The next one is private moments of affection. This is more common with fearful avoidance. I would say a little more common with female fearful avoidance, but it's common with both, where they might not really show affection publicly, but in private, they are definitely more expressive, affectionate, touchy. Dismissive avoidance, like male dismissive avoidance, sometimes are comfortable with both, depending. But female avoidance, particularly fearful avoidance, are definitely, I notice a lot of them are not comfortable with physical affection, especially in public. But in private, they're able to open up a little bit more. The next one is it's very easy to miss, but it is probably one of the more common signs. This one is more common with male avoidance. They tell you about their day in a very story-like way. All avoidants do this, but male avoidants do this to the point where sometimes they might even talk over their female partner. And this is not a good thing. Like I've called you guys out if this was you, so you guys know, but I do see it. Male avoidants kind of do this, and they might sometimes do it at very odd times. And I'm actually going to share a personal example because I really feel like it would help. You guys know I used to be avoidant. My significant other used to be avoidant. And sometimes we still have those qualities as well. And this happened yesterday. And so this is fresh on my mind. We went to the mall, okay? And we were buying things. Well, I was buying things. He was holding my bags. Let's be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. He's not much of a shopper. I am. I like a bargain, but when there is a bargain, I will buy. And so there were some sales going on, so I went to get some clothes, and I was at the checkout counter. He kind of handed the card to me, and while I was trying to cancel off because I didn't want the email. You know how they always ask you, like, do you want to put your email in? Do you want to sign up for our store credit card? And I'm saying, like, no, no. And while I'm doing that, he is leaning over, leaning against the counter, completely ignoring the cashier when she's talking to both of us while I'm doing this. So the cashier is trying to talk to me about something. And then he leans and is starting to talk about a baseball game that he's having tomorrow, which is today as I'm recording this, because this was yesterday. And he was telling me about a baseball game and all these really big details. And then he's like, are you listening? Are you listening? And I'm like, yes, but I'm also doing something. And I said, but yeah, I'm listening. And then he just went on and on about this baseball game and all the details about the baseball game. And then afterwards, when I was done and we were getting our bags and whatever, he was just telling me, like, did you hear the thing about the baseball game? And he kept repeating the baseball game. I'm like, yes, I heard you, but I wanted you to know that I'm busy. And he's like, well, when I tell you about this stuff, it's because I felt like this was a good time because I thought like you weren't shopping anymore and I didn't want to do it while you were shopping. Like I didn't want to bother you while you were looking at clothes. So I waited until you were done, which is why I started doing it at the cashier. But he didn't understand that like I'm still not done just because I'm not picking clothes. I'm still like checking out. But he thought it was not important to wait for that. But the reason why I bring that up is because this is something he does a lot and he's gotten better with it. But he really gets very excited to tell me about like everything. I'm not a talker like that, but he tells me about like everything, like the weather, the mulch outside, the grass growing, the fish that was caught, everything in like extensive details. Like he can go on and on and on and on. But I know that everybody else who knows him knows that they consider him like not a talker at all. Like he doesn't talk at all, or he's very stoic and quiet. But that is not the person I know. And I've known him for years, obviously. I've been in a relationship with him for years. But a lot of people do not know that about him because he only does that with me. And a lot of people who are avoidant tend to do that. They are pretty closed off, but then when they really love someone and they feel really open, they just talk and talk and talk and go on about all of their stuff and their life. And sometimes they don't know when to put it in the right moments because they've never really done that with anyone else. And I didn't mean to like say all this information about my significant other as if he has poor social skills. Please don't take it like that. It just, before me, he never did that. And he's gotten so much better, but it was just something I wanted to share because I've had calls with you guys where your significant other is kind of like that. And so that's something as well, okay? The next one is protectiveness. This is more common with male avoidance, but it does happen with female avoidance as well. They're protective over your safety and well-being because they care about you. The next one is what many people will call like acts of service. They like to do things that are helpful, make soup for their partner, make soup if they're sick, for example, taking care of their needs, get medicine. Considering I've been sharing a lot of information, I'll share another one. My significant other, I think it was 3 days ago, there was a storm and he went outside to fix some stuff because some stuff blew out or around and he cut his finger. And I know it's just a cut, but I don't like cuts and I hate that he picks at cuts. And so I was like immediately trying to clean the cut and whatever. And I was just like, please just don't pick at it. Don't do anything. Just give me your hand and let me put it under the sink and clean it and then put medicine on it, whatever it is. And like, that's how I show care because I want to make sure that he doesn't scar or get an infection, even though he doesn't care about any of those things. I do though. And so this is the way that some avoidants show care. It's not always a straight up, I love this person or I love you, even though that is what it feels like, but it's more about, I care about these things because I care. I don't want you hurt. I don't like seeing this about you, things of that sort. The next one is loyalty. Many avoidants, when they feel safe and secure and when they really do love you, many of them are very loyal and they show long-term commitment by standing with their partner or loved ones throughout. And they're loyal as with other things as well. A lot of them are very loyal about their careers, like military. A lot of them are very loyal about that they served. They're very proud of it and they want all their family members to also be proud. And maybe they want all their children to also be in the military. Very proud and very loyal of not just their partner, but of what they have and what they are. Very loyal about the town they grew up in. They're very proud of those things. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.